Hello, Vol Nation. Welcome to another episode of Believe in Tennessee Football. I'm your host, as always, Kyler Kerberson, joined with me, Bacon. I got another great one today. It's a little short and sweet, but we are talking about a baseball game that Reed went to and his experience there. We are talking about Julian Phillips, 5-star commitment in basketball, which is awesome. Some guys transferring out of UT football, and Theo Jackson making a name for himself with the Titans. But before we get into all that, please, you guys, subscribe, rate, review, like, leave a comment, share the videos, share the podcast. It helps us so much. And also, you know what? In the comments, let us know if there's some merch ideas that you guys are thinking about. I'm starting to lean into that. I'm thinking if people would like some t-shirts or some hoodies that might represent the show. So please, merch ideas, let me know. But yeah, let's jump into it.
By the game. Snap, the kick is in the air, and the kick this time is no, sir-ree. No, sir-ree. Final score, Tennessee 20, Florida 17. Pandemonium reigns.
Loads up, fires long for the end zone. The pass is going to be caught by Tennessee. Tennessee wins! Caught by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch in the end zone on the Hail Mary.
Down to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. What did he do? All he did was score. Joey Pence, touchdown on play number 1.
All right, so before we jump into the podcast, shout out our number one sponsor, betonline.ag. If you're wanting to go anywhere to bet, this is the place. It's the number one source for all the best odds, the stats, everything that comes with it. They've got stuff on the NBA playoffs going on. They've got stuff on MLB. They have golf. They have fighting. They have even casino. So everything you could think of, this is the place to go. It's the best place to bet, and it makes everything more exciting when you do it. So hop on over there. When you do go over there, it's super easy to get started. You can use your mobile device, or you can go on their website and use a promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, when you sign up, and you receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So awesome, free money. So why not use BELIEVE as your little code when you go there? Tell them that we sent you. So head on over. Again, that's BLEAV, promo code to get that 50% welcome bonus. Bet online, where the game starts. All right, welcome in, everyone. Another great podcast for you. Not a lot of news this week, but we are going to be diving into some things. Before we start, I just wanted to give you all a little taste of this because I'm drinking these every. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice.
Hey, that's real nice. Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice.
That's real nice.
Hey,
Reed,
Jack, just open that door so she can come out.
Reed, how we doing, bud?
I'm good. I got a madhouse over here this weekend. So the Knoxville Open was this weekend. We had a bunch of people over on Saturday and some today. My buddy, that I talk about a lot on this podcast, Jack Gillespie's in town, so he's here at the house right now.
Is Jack going to make a guest appearance?
No, he's in the other room right now watching the PGA event that's in Dallas. But yeah, I'm doing well. It was a good weekend. It was a good weekend. Saturday, this pod it's going to be very short. There's not going to be a lot about it. I'm basically going to tell you about my weekend in depth. but Friday, my dad and I went to the UT baseball game. So my uncle, not Uncle Lou, that you met and played golf with from Memphis, but my Uncle Jimmy here in Knoxville, he has been over at UT vet school for like 30, 35 years. He's a stud. Like he's awesome. Everybody that works over there knows him. He's great at what he does. Well, it's awesome because he could retire. And the only reason he doesn't retire is because he loves having the season tickets. He loves what he does, but he has the season tickets to basketball, baseball, football, all that. So he was going out of town. He said, Reed, he goes, I know you want to go to a baseball game. Take these tickets. He's like, take my brother, aka my dad. He's like, y'all go have fun. I said, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I have not been to Lindsey Nelson. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but I was like, let's do this. Like, let's go. Like, and I went, and Kyler, everything about it was outstanding. I loved the efficiency of going to a baseball game because there's not 100,000 people. There's not even, 15 to 20,000 people. Like, and me, I love going to basketball games. I love going to football games. I love them all. I just can only do football in small dosage, like one or two a year is fine with me. And, but baseball, man, you go, you park, it's easy. You walk in. My uncle's tickets are incredible. They're front row, right behind, like first base line, right behind the bench. So I got to, see Tony V in person and see what all the hype was about.
Is he as hot as everyone says he is?
Just, see if I like saw him and immediately got hard in the paint. So, but no, listen, it was a beautiful night after the rain delay. We waited to go because we kind of had a feeling the rain was coming. So we got there like fourth inning, and I sound like a kid in a candy store because I'm like, I just hope I see a home run. And like, I'm sitting there and I'm, like I said, I'm first baseline and Evan Russell cranks that one and hits it left field. And I get to see the whole thing. I'm like, let's go. Like, I mean, it was a good atmosphere. I mean, the fans are rowdy, the people that are chirping at the other team and the umpires are hilarious. Like good food, good drinks. It was just a really good experience. They won. So that was nice. And yeah, it was great. I would highly recommend going to baseball games. And of course, for me, I'm going because they're good. Like I'm that fan that like, if you're good at something, I'm going to come and like support you. And so like, I would go again. Like I can understand why people enjoy going over there, having a few beers, having some hot dogs, and enjoying the night. And it was fun. And I felt like the reason I didn't like baseball as much growing up, like when I stopped playing it was because it was just too slow for me. But I never felt like it was too slow. Like I felt like it was going pretty good. And, in between innings, go to the bathroom, go get another beer or whatever. So great time.
Yeah, that is definitely the thing that has, I guess, steered me away from baseball. Is I always felt like it was slow when I played as a kid. It's very slow because nobody can hit anything. So then you kind of like fall asleep if you're in any kind of outfield position. And then watching it was like a pitching battle in certain instances. And it's just like, okay, well, I mean, nothing happened. I think people have the same thought process with soccer too. It's like, so the game can end, can be 0-0 at the end of regulation. It's like, well, yeah, it could be like that in baseball too, technically. But that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, did you make any connections? Are we going to have Tony Vitello on the podcast?
No, I didn't make any connections. Nothing
Come on,
like
Reed.
that. I'm a very poor podcaster because I don't tell people about it. I don't try to get people to watch it. I don't try to get people on there. So I'm not good for business in that way. So I apologize for that. Yeah, it was.
Trust me, I didn't bring you on here as a promoter.
But hey, you know what, man? It is awesome to have a team that is that good. I was telling my dad every time someone would come up to bat, I would look at the Jumbotron and see, and it was so neat because I knew that obviously this team is very good, but then you see their averages and it's like 400, high threes. You see the RBIs, you see the homers, and it's like the one thing about this team is like most teams that are good or really good has 1, 2, 3, or 4, 1 or 2, 3 guys that are just dogs that like step up when you need it. I feel like this team has everyone on there can step up in a big way. Like one, they'll hit the homer when they need it, or they'll get the double when they need it, or whatever. So it's really cool to have a team that you root for, that you like, that are just, the New England Patriots of whatever,
Yeah, just great at everything and can beat anybody. I'm sure that was fun as heck. I mean, like we said last podcast, it's like, dude, if we don't win, if we don't win this year, then it's never going to happen. I mean, we just won regular season SEC champs. It's the first time since 95, which is like, what a hell of a drought. But glad I got the monkey off her back. But yeah, it's like, if it doesn't happen now, when is it going to happen? Because this team has been number one for months. And even if they do have losses on their record, it's still just like, there's no one's touching this team.
Yeah, and don't say it's never going to happen, because I mean that's never's a long time. But I
That's
get what
true.
you mean. It feels, as sports fans, like as sports fans, it's our lifetime right now. We're like, if it doesn't happen now, like I might not ever see it. But it's like, hey, like, you know, it can happen.
I mean, Tony's got an extension. He'll be here for a while, so it should be fine.
Yeah,
it should be fine.
But anyway, so great time, awesome experience. I'm assuming a lot of our listeners have already gone. If not, even if you're not a big baseball fan, try to go if you can get a ticket that's not too expensive or whatever. Enjoyable time.
I think that's the hard part.
For a non-baseball guy.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part, is finding one that's not expensive.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the Vandy ones here in Nashville are like $250 a ticket.
Yeah.
Like, that's not happening.
That's steep for non-baseball guys.
Yeah, steep. Very steep. I'm like, would I spend this on a regular season football game? I don't think I would. So I'm probably not going to spend it on a regular season baseball game. Okay. Do you want to talk about the rest of your weekend so that we can stay on theme of golf talk in our podcast? Do you want to move into
I'll finish.
Committed to the basketball team?
No, I'll finish it real quick. Weekend. So we just watched the Knoxville Open Saturday. Had some friends over. Like I said, Sunday we just got done watching it, so that's why we're recording a little bit later. I basically woke up, went to mass, grabbed a smoothie bowl, got home, walked the course for a little bit, and then they had a tent on the 18th green for the members, and so it was cool. I mean, it was cool to see that. It is still just the Corn Ferry, but man, some outstanding golfers making some outstanding shots. Basically look like you and I out there just dominating.
Yeah, but, exactly.
Anyways, great weekend, and hopefully you and Brianne had a nice one as well.
Yes, definitely. We went and saw a Leon Bridges concert at the amphitheater on Friday, which amphitheater is very underrated. Like, great acoustics. If you're really just like trying to chill, you can sit in the grass and not feel like it's like you have to stand up and like have to be like super involved. You can just kind of talk, and yeah, it was great. Like, it was better than other concert experiences that I've had, even though I know Reed's not a big concert guy, but it was a good time. When you talked about the US Open, you know what I saw the other day, that like Danny Woodhead, the old running back, is golfing now, and shot like an even par on his qualifying round.
Oh yeah, the U.S. Open qualifying is pretty cool. They do a U.S. Open qualifier at Holston, and it's pretty neat because it's just crazy to think. Obviously, it's very, very, very rare, but technically, if I just worked my little heart out, or you worked your little heart out, or any other amateur golfers out there, you can go and qualify at your local course and somehow still make the U.S. Open. So yeah, it's pretty. And honestly, growing up here, being out here a lot, it's intense. Like that U.S. Open qualifier, I've caddied for some of my buddies that have played in it. It's intense, man, because it's guys that are really, they come from everywhere to try to make that dream happen.
It's literally they're trying to make it their career. So
yeah.
All right. Let's jump into some of the little basketball talk. A little 5-star recruit Barnes is pulling in. I think I saw that he was ranked like number 4 all time ranking. Like if you were to take the other 5 stars that we have.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure not to get this wrong. It's just,
hold on. I have it pulled up. I can just read this off. I'll take it for you.
There
you hand the ball off to me, and I'll go to the house.
I gotcha. Take it away, bud.
All right, so we're talking about Julian Phillips. Listen, there's not a lot of football going on. We can talk about Carnell Tate at the baseball game. I said, what's up to him? I said, you come? And he said, yeah, bet. I said, all right, bet. We'll see you out there. So there's just not a lot of football stuff. I know the guy from UCF. We're going to see if he's coming, whatever. We'll talk about it if they commit. You guys know how we are.
Yeah,
so we do want to talk about
I don't want to talk about a random 17-year-old going to a baseball game. Like, if he ends up going to freaking Oregon or something, it's just like, why did I even talk about him?
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, he's coming. Like, it's what he told me. We dapped up. He's like, dude, I freaking know you. I was like, damn right you know me, cuz.
Yeah, I've watched that podcast, fam. They should have busted him, what?
All right. So anyways, Julian Phillips, small forward, 6'8", 200, 5-star. Nationally, 12th ranked player nationally. Position-wise, 4th. In his state, he's number 1. So you are correct. He's behind Tobias Harris, Scotty Hobson, my man Casey Kennedy Chandler, and he's in front of Jaden Springer, Keon Johnson, Robert Hubb, Josiah Jordan James, Brandon Huntley, Loser Hatfield. Now, here's the deal. First off, Scotty Hobson is one of my least favorite players of all time because he was such a bust for us for being a 5-star.
Yeah.
But this is a massive, 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 massive get. And you know why it's a massive get, Kyler?
Tell me.
Because our recruiting class is absolute dog doo-doo right now. So we have BJ Edwards from Knoxville Catholic, go Irish, our alma mater. Now, listen, I've watched BJ play in person a couple times. Don't hate me. Don't get mad at me. I'm not expecting much from BJ next year. I'm just not. People that are like
that's next year. He's got room to grow.
No, like they're. Wait, he's done. He's done at Catholic. He'll be.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying is like, you don't expect a lot from him next year at Tennessee.
Yeah, as a freshman.
As a freshman, I'm like, yeah, maybe when he's a junior. Hell, Josiah Jordan James didn't really show us much till this year.
Well, that's my point. I don't want, like, I heard someone be like, it's okay, we lost KC, we still have BJ Edwards coming. I'm like, whoa, calm down. Like, they're not the same players. Like I said, I watched BJ in person a couple times. I think he's fabulous, but he's a 4-star. Like, he's 104th nationally. So, like, he's not going to come in. He's not going to be the same type of player. And then Tyreek Key, who we've already talked about, which I am very excited about Tyreek Key.
Yeah.
He's an old head. Like, he's been around it. He can get buckets. He can score, like, all that. So I'm excited for him. But when I had to scroll through to look for Julian Phillips stuff, and I'm like, where the hell's Tennessee? And we're like 30th nationally. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, last year we were, top 5 or whatever. Let me see exactly for last year because I want to. Now
I'm looking at it like what like in those recruiting classes, is it just out of high school or they do transfer? Because I feel like Tyreek Key should be.
He's only a 3-star. They have him ranked, and I don't know if that's his ranking as a transfer or his ranking when he came out of high school. But last year we were 5th nationally. We had Kenny Chandler, 5-star. Brandon Huntley Hatfield, 5-star. Jonas Adu, 4-star, but ranked 40th nationally. And then you got a couple other guys, another 4-star, a couple three-star boys here, which one was Zakai Ziegler, which was, incredible, outstanding. And then you had Justin Powell coming over, who, we thought was going to do more for us. So it's like, as a Tennessee fan, like, I think that we should be 5th, 10, 15 max. Like,
coming off an SEC championship, yeah.
Why would we ever be higher than a 15? Now, granted, Barnes still has time to get, another transfer or another kids. Like, I don't know how much longer. I don't keep up with college basketball recruiting until they sign or whatever. But this was a massive get because obviously, if people know, like, we got him over Auburn, which was huge. We got him over an $800,000 contract.
Oh, yeah,
to the
that's what I was about to say. I was like, we got him over the G League, fam, not Auburn.
Yeah. So it was it's a massive get. I'm looking through his offers. He's got a lot of the big time offers, Kansas, Texas Tech, Auburn, Kentucky did not offer him, losers.
He's probably got too many 5-stars.
He's got Alabama on here, which, Alabama has Alabama and Arkansas are like top 2, 3, 4. I mean, they got an incredible basketball recruiting class this year, which really sucks. Needless to say, it pisses me off. But this is massive, man. Like, we needed this so bad to
So
replenish what we're losing.
are you legit expecting him to like make a difference his first year?
I'm not a basketball, like, I love basketball. I watch it all the time. I feel like I know a lot about the game, but like, I'm not going to sit here and say I played basketball and can watch highlights and know what this guy's going to do. I think it's just too hard for me to watch, and be like, oh yeah, this guy's going to immediately step in. That's why I was like so surprised that Kennedy Chandler was actually as good as he is. Like,
that was mine.
Did you watch his highlights?
I watched his highlights and I was impressed. Like, I thought he moved really well. I thought he attacked the basket well. It didn't seem like there was a time where he didn't have a purpose in what he was doing. A la Russell Westbrook this past year, where he just like drives and has no idea what's about to happen and then tries to throw a pass and, just turnover. So there was never that. I thought his shot looked smooth. I thought he moved smooth. But I am just so like, you brought up Hopkins. Like, I think of Josiah Jordan-James, Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, like 5 stars that it's just like, yeah, y'all are 5 stars, but you ain't ready. Like, there's a difference between the 5 stars. And sometimes they work out great. Sometimes it is a Kenny Chandler. Sometimes they need a few years. Sometimes it's Josiah Jordan-James. Sometimes it's guys that, really just don't pan out at all, which is like the most frustrating part. But it's better to have 5 stars than to not have 5 stars.
And it's a great point. It's an absolutely great point. And I think for me, it's more my own doing. It's my own fault that when I hear we get a 5-star in basketball, I'm like, okay, bet. Like, because in basketball, you think one and dones. But like, Tennessee doesn't really get one and dones. I mean, granted, Kenny Chandler is, and I know Jaden Springer and Keon Johnson both were. Me personally, I do not look at Jaden Springer, Keon Johnson as one and dones. Like, I don't think back and be like, oh, they were outstanding. Like, they were incredible. Like,
I don't think they should have done one and dones.
I know. I agree. But they did. You know how the NBA is. They draft off potential and they like some stuff. I like Jaden Springer, and I understood Keon Johnson is a freak athlete, but like, I just wasn't super impressed with them. Like, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, legit one and done. Holy crap, this is amazing. Like, and I get that. Tobias Harris was a one and done, but I still think that's why I was so pumped about Kenny Chandler being as good as he was, because he was a legit difference maker. He was, one of these guys that goes to Duke, that goes to Kansas, that goes to Kentucky, that is a one and done difference maker in my opinion.
I agree with that. I mean, I love the way like Tobias played for us and some of the, like, what he added to the team, but I don't know, like, in my head, a one and done is
a lottery pick,
a lock, dude. Like, you got to be a lottery pick, a lock for like the first 5 to 10 picks. If you're not that, then just literally play one more year and you can be. So why would you like? And I'm hoping that NIL helps that, where guys don't feel like they have to go to the NBA right away. And they'll be like, well, I can still make $250,000. Say it's that low. Say I can still make $250,000 at my college, but I don't, I don't lose out on the draft pick I could be. Because I feel like there's a lot of times guys have just like missed their opportunity, came out the wrong year, and they're forgotten about, so no one ever talks about it. So there's no proof that this happens, but it definitely does. Yeah. And I would hope for more people to stay longer. Like, I remember back in the day when it was talked about, like, hey, should they extend it to 3 years like football does before someone can come out? And I felt like it would be awesome for college. Like, I feel like it would make college so much better. And I mean, NBA would still be great. Like there's nothing, it would not take away from the NBA. It would just make college even more competitive and better.
Right. No, I get that. Well, really, that's all I had. We can talk that we had a couple questions on one of our last videos, and I told I messaged back, said, "Hey, thanks for bringing it up. We'll definitely talk about it." So one of them was about Cortavis Crouch and all that stuff with Jeremy Banks and him being transfer portal or whatever. Guys, he might not even be in the transfer portal. I don't know. But they asked what our opinion was about if maybe he comes back. And then they also asked what we thought about Aaron Willis leaving. So what are your thoughts on those?
I think we're fine. Like I'm not super worried. Maybe Aaron Willis, I am a little bit. Couch is the same thing. Like that we talked about with Henry. It's like, I don't want him back. You know what I mean? Like I would just, I mean, if you want to leave, like go do your own thing. Like, see ya. Like,
who did you say?
Couch, right?
Yeah, Cortavis Crouch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, go, bro. Like if like you're really that upset about it, you really want to go. Okay. But
I'm saying, but what about him coming back? That was what the question was about.
Yeah, I don't want him back.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want him back. I like that. That was like I was comparing it to Henry. It's just like
right.
I don't want him back. I don't want him to be. You quit on us before. You didn't want to be a part of it. Like, don't come. It's fake. It's fake as hell. Like to just come back and be like, yeah, I'm involved for life. Like, no, you're fucking not, dude. Like, especially from a guy who grew up in Knoxville, who rooted for the Tennessee Vols my entire life. My freaking grandfather played there. Like, I can see a VFL. I know a VFL. I am a VFL. You ain't it. Hey, you ain't him. You ain't him. Okay?
You ain't that guy, bud.
Hey, you're not that guy, bud. You're not that guy. Okay, so Aaron,
what about Aaron Willis? Does it bother you that he left?
It does, just off of like depth. You know what I mean? Like I want enough guys to be here and play well, but I'm still just kind of like, you know what? If you didn't play a lot and you didn't get a lot of playing time and you weren't performing well, then and you feel like you got gypped, that's your problem. You know what I mean? Like, if you weren't playing, it's because you didn't play well enough. That's how it works. They're not going to put somebody else in over you because that guy has a bigger name, because it's their jobs on the line. They need to win games to keep their jobs. So they put in the people that win the most games for them. So this like, oh yeah, there's like political stuff and like, you know, any kind of excuse that would be, it's like, bro, they're just trying to win games here because they will be fired if they do not win games. So yeah, I mean, whatever with Aaron Willis thing. I think I sent you his little highlight reel that he put out on Twitter. And you know what? I mean, like, he made good plays on there, but all that I noticed was it was against the twos. There was nobody touching him. There was horrible blocking schemes. There was MAs by the offensive line. There was missed pickups by the running backs. And I'm just like, all right. Yeah, that's great. Like, you did great versus 10 guys or 9 guys instead of 11, because there was guys that messed up on the play and didn't block you. So yeah, it's awesome to see that, but like, I don't know if it's that impressive from that point of view. I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about it as that?
First off, about on Cortavis Crouch or whatever, when I saw people making a big deal about it on Twitter, when Jeremy Banks was picking him up and he has UT bag, I was like, we don't need him back. Like, that's a position of need. But like, he started at Michigan State. I don't remember him going up there and being like a dog or anything. Like, I watch the Michigan State games. Like, I don't remember him when I watch the Michigan State games, like making plays or anything big deal and be like, oh man, I really wish we had him back.
And why is he wanting to leave?
Right.
Michigan State was almost Big Ten champs last year. Like their coach, Mel Tucker, is a defensive coach, and they're supposed to be even better this year, can maybe take the throne of Michigan. It's like, okay, why is he transferring? He literally is just transferring back because he likes his buddies. I don't think so. I think it's it could be something else where it's like, hey, you're not going to play this year.
Yeah, who knows, man? I don't know, but I could care less. Like, even if it's a position of need, like, whatever. Like, you left once, don't come back. About Aaron Willis, like I've said on this podcast before, like, I didn't even really know anything about him. Like, first time I saw him, I was like, wow, that guy's a little guy. Like, I went back and watched his highlights, and I was, I loved how he hit. I loved how he played the game. I was like, as a 4-star, like, he had some pretty good offers. Like, okay, bet, cool. But then again, like, I always go back to, he didn't break. I mean, honestly, you can't even say he didn't break the starting lineup. Dude, we rotated last year linebackers. He wasn't a top 4 linebacker. He didn't play over Banks. He didn't play over Mitchell. He didn't play over Beasley. He didn't play over Solomon Page. So it's like, if you weren't good enough then, why do I think you're going to be good enough this year?
Yeah.
And this year we've already got, some freshmen and stuff that are going to come in and, potentially maybe have a chance. Maybe, Jackson Hanna or another transfer or whatever. But, hey, listen, man, I'm going to respect somebody that plays like a little pit bull. And I know what you were saying about those highlights. I'm talking about the highlights I've seen from high school and that little highlight reel that he put out when he was at UT. Like, I respect the kid, man. He plays hard. He brings a pop. He'll lay somebody out. I love that. So I'm always going to respect that. I don't think it really hurt Tennessee because if he was good enough, he would have already been on the field. I hope he goes somewhere and hope he's successful. Lastly, to finish this up, I just went ahead and pulled this up on my work laptop. So it looks like the UCF transfer, Jalen Robinson, chose Ole Miss. So basically, that's the last I'm going to say that. If you choose to go to the SIP and hang out with that loser Lane Kiffin, then, good on it. And I'll just read this right here. It says, I'm going to compete always, Robbins said. Every school threw a punch at me. TCU did, being the hometown school. Tennessee is where my old coaches are. Those bonds are something I felt like will never break, but I felt like I had to take the next step forward for myself. Tennessee was probably the hardest because I think everyone thought I would go there just because I was familiar with the coaching staff, because our good bond. I wanted to try something new, and push myself to be. I don't know what he's pushing himself to be. He just left it there. And he goes, and I knew the system, but wanted to do something different. So, okay, have fun at Ole Miss, man. Like, you got roped in by lame-ass Kiffin. So, whatever. Good thing we didn't worry about talking about him. And
yeah, exactly. That is the main reason why we do not talk about recruits, because
I will not watch his highlights.
No.
I won't go and search him out. It's
a waste of time. And your comment about Aaron Willis too, like, it makes you think, like, spring practice is over and he just had the realization, like, I'm not going to play.
Correct.
Like, that was it. Like, if you're transferring right after spring practice, you went through 15 practices with this team and realized there are 2 to 3 to 4 guys better than I am, and I'm not going to play here. Whatever you think that goes into that, it is they are better than you.
And we said that on this pod. We said watch for more transfers after spring, because people are going to realize they're not playing.
Yeah, exactly. One more thing. Did you see the Theo Jackson?
Yes.
That interception.
Yes.
With Vrabel talking shit to him, which I absolutely love. They asked him about it after the practice, and they said that Vrabel was like, "Stop all your Rocky Top cheerleading," and Theo was like, "Gotcha." And he literally picked off Malik Willis the next play, and he said in the interview, he was like, "There wasn't a lot of talking after that," and laughed. I was like, I freaking love it, dude.
The way Vrabel didn't say anything else to him.
Yeah, he was like, there wasn't much talking after that one. And then it just laughed. And I was like, that's fucking perfect. Vrabel is such a meathead, like,
football guy, players coach.
Football guy through and through.
All about
it's insane.
Yeah.
He's all about it. And, like, he is going to be the one to give you a hard time and be on your ass. And But I mean, he knows. And I love that just like Theo's like, all right, I got tested. And he's a freaking 6th-round draft pick. He's like, all right, let me show you something. Let me pick off your 2nd-round draft pick quarterback.
3rd round, but yes, agree.
That was at 3rd? Okay.
Yeah. I was very happy to see that. I hope Theo has a great camp, and I hope he makes the 53 man. So
yeah, for sure. Because I think this was still rookie mini camp.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah. I think he can though, man. That just like gives me a lot of...
I think he has a great chance. Like I said, the only reason I was worried is because we have a lot of young depth at that defensive backfield. But hey, they keep a lot of DB. So
I know it gives me a lot of hope.
Short and sweet for you fools this week.
Yeah, that's right. I better not hear any complaints about it being, well, it's not this amount of time, it's not that amount of time. Like, we're just trying to give you we're just trying to brighten your Wednesday afternoons. Let's say that. All right. Appreciate you guys. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. We love the comments. We'd love to react to them. Me and Reed both. Reed kind of goes off his own YouTube. I go off of the Believe YouTube. So if you see us answering comments, that's where it's from. If you're listening, please subscribe, follow, review, download, I think there's some other things on different podcast platforms, depending on which one you're listening to. If you want to follow us, Believe in Tennessee on Twitter, at rbacon26 for Reed on Twitter for him. I am at Kyler Curbison on all social media, so you can find me there. To contact us, we have a phone number. It is 865-322-9232 and an email at bleavintennesseefootball@gmail.com. So feel free to reach out to us there. And as always, go Vols.